Hello everybody, welcome back to another Whitespark weekly video. Last week we did a video on how to use a call tracking number on your Google My Business listing, and I was really pleased to see how well received that was. We got a lot of comments on the blog, a lot of questions about it, so I think you should check that out. You can see how to do it properly. You can use a call tracking number in your Google My Business listing, and so check that last week's out. This week I want to talk to you about a common question. It comes up for me all the time. It's what page should I link to from my Google My Business listing? So in Google My Business, I'll just show you this real quick. You can enter a website URL. So in here, I can specify a URL to link to. Right now, this business is linking to their homepage. We've got the parameters, the tracking parameters. But let's say you have 5 locations, what page should you link to? Should you link to the location landing pages, or should you link to the home page? So that question's come up many times. It keeps coming up, even though Phil Rosick did a great post about it in 2014. The question keeps coming up, and so I want to do a little video about that and give you some insight into my recommendations there. And I also wanted to show you something really fascinating. I've never shown this to anybody before. I discovered it about 3 years ago, and the only person that I've shown it to actually was Phil. So Phil and I talked about it back then, and it's a really interesting thing. So let me get into that first. I'm going to show you this really cool thing. So everybody knows that Googlebot is a crawler. It crawls the web. It's gathering information from every website and puts it into Google's index. You can see all the stuff in Search Console. So this thing's crawling all the time, visiting web pages and gathering data, which it uses to understand the web and rank web pages. So let me show you what happens with when you change the URL in Google My Business. What happens is 3 minutes after you change the URL, Googlebot will come and visit your website, the specific URL that you added. They do it every time. So it's really fascinating. Watch this. So let me start. Let me get this out of the way. Go over here. So I actually have the server logs open here for this website. If I can take a look and see what's happening in the logs. I can tail the logs and see the last time people were visiting the site. So it looks like the last page visited was 1 minute ago. That's a minute ago. It's 11:37 here. And by this IP. So someone had visited this page. So if I leave this open and we just watch, you'll see like it starts to trigger. You'll see people visiting the page, and this will just keep building up. So I'm just going to get out of that. I can also look in this log specifically for any instances of Googlebot. When was Googlebot last here? So I can check that out by, here we go. So I'm just going to grep the log. It's kind of like parsing the log file for a specific string. So I'm looking for this mention of Googlebot. So now I can see that Googlebot was last on the site at 11:01. That was 37 minutes ago. So we're going to try and make Googlebot come and check out our web page again. So let me just clear this up. I'm going to tail the log again, but this time I'm going to tail it and then send it over to grep, so I'm only watching for when Googlebot shows up. There's the command for that. So this is running. Googlebot is now, or the server logs are now going to output anytime Googlebot visits the website. So let's go over here. I'm going to change their website URL. So I'm going to go, I'm just going to copy this link out. I'm going to just send it to their lawyers page. I'm going to update this. Don't worry, I'll change it back shortly after. All right, so I'm going to make this go to the lawyers page. I've got a timer set here. So we'll see what happens. So I'm going to apply this. Saving. All right, saved. It's pending. Pending is usually pretty fast. I'm going to start this timer, see how long it takes. We'll bring this back up. Oh, man, maybe it got faster. Whoa, Googlebot did get faster. You can look at that. It used to be 3 minutes. Now it's like instant. So what's the first page? Look at that, lawyers. So it hit it first, hit the lawyers page. Now it's crawling the rest of the website. It's really fascinating to see that. It's like as soon as you update that in your Google My Business listing, Googlebot's going to be like, oh, we better go and check this out. So what does that tell you? What does that mean? You know, I'm not a search engineer, but my theory on this is you've got your regular web crawl and your regular web index. If Googlebot is triggering a crawl as soon as you update that URL, it's like, I need to find the signals for this page and now associate it with my business entity at Google My Business. So if you change all the content on your page, Google wants to see that and then update their sort of listing at local. So this is like triggering, in my mind, like a local crawl. This is a local specific crawl for gathering data about that page and associating with your business entity at Google. So it really shows you how important that page is, obviously. It's really important to get that right. And then there's two primary factors that they're really looking at. So they're looking at the content of that page, and they're also looking at, I'm going to stop this timer, so it's not going to be 3 minutes, but they're also looking at the link authority, the link equity you have on that page. And so getting back to the question at hand, which is, you know, which page should you link to? I basically break it down into sections. It's super easy. You're trying to balance your link equity. Can't even see my hands. I'm trying to talk with my hands. Trying to balance your link equity with your relevancy. So trying to get the best of both worlds. If you have a single location business, it's dead simple. You link it to the homepage because the homepage is going to have all the link equity. And then you also optimize your homepage, the title tag, the content, everything about that. You sort of localize that content for your keywords and your location. Great. So that's pretty straightforward if you have a single location. What if you have 3 locations? If you have 3 locations, you can probably still get all 3 of those main cities into the title tag. So let's say you're a plumber in Denver. You got, you know, plumbers Denver, Aurora, Colorado Springs. You can optimize the content, have little blocks talking about, you know, the work you do in each area. That can all go on the homepage, so you still get the benefit of the link equity of the homepage, and you can optimize the content. When you get to 5, it gets a bit sketchy. Can you get 5 city names into your title tag? Probably not. You're kind of stuffing at that point. It doesn't look natural. Can you optimize the content for 5 different locations? It gets really hard. You could stretch it. At that point, you might want to try both. So make location pages, optimize them as well as you can, and then try setting your Google My Business listings to link to those location pages, and then run that for a couple of weeks with some rank tracking. Then switch it to the homepage. Run that for a couple of weeks with some rank tracking and see which one actually works better for you. So that's what I would recommend in that level. If you've got 6 or more, it's just too hard, I think, to optimize your content for all of those locations on that one page. Your mileage may vary, so you actually might still do better by linking to the homepage. Again, I would suggest testing, but you're not really going to get those strong relevancy signals. So I would suggest at that point to link all of them to location landing pages. So you got a very specific page built for that location. You have put a ton of excellent content on that page. We have a blog post that talks about how to optimize a page and get a really good location landing page. We built it from the perspective of ranking an organic page that you don't have a physical location for, but the concepts apply for a page that you actually have a physical location for as well. So I'll link to that. That gives you all the, this is how you optimize a page. And then try to get as many links as you can to those location pages. So you want to get your citation links, obviously. You want to have good internal linking on your website. You want to make sure that you are getting any other websites that you have access to, or try to link to your location pages on those. Wherever you can control links, those are opportunities to get links. You want to make sure that you are doing some sponsorships. You can get some links to those pages from sponsorships. You can also get links to those pages from local business associations. So if you're part of the business association in Denver and you're also part of one in Colorado Springs, then those could link to those specific location landing pages. So that basically sums it up. I think that if you have one location, obviously homepage. 3, I'd probably still go homepage. Beyond that, you're probably going to want to make location landing pages and link to those from your Google My Business listing. And I hope you found that thing about Googlebot fascinating. I know I did. And we'll see you next week for another Whitespark Weekly. Bye, everybody.